Hello everybody, Ben here, back from Auto Assembly this year. It was fantastic, really fantastic, so I thoroughly enjoyed myself. Sorry we're going all handheld today, my tripod and that are still in the back of the car, and my wife has taken the car to work. Yeah, my fault, should have got them out. What you are about to witness is our YouTube panel, which took place yesterday in the morning. Now, I'm just giving you an advance warning, it does contain some strong language and some adult content. Now I know I have a few younger subscribers, so it may not be suitable for you. I'm just putting that warning out there. And to everybody else out there, I hope you enjoy it. It's with some truly fantastic guys and me. Right, here we go.
I think we got enough people here to start. So, yeah. So, welcome everybody to the...
We have people locked in. And that's the closet. Come out. No. Give it a push. Hey. And you're out, yeah. Look proud, Camille. There we go. Thank you.
Man here, isn't it? So, welcome to the YouTube panel, everybody. This is us. We've somehow ended up with 5 people instead of the original 4. No matter, we will manage. So, I'm Joe. I have a YouTube channel called Proudest Productions. I do stop motion animation and voiceover work. I don't have a channel trailer. I'm not going to show one on this yet, but I will let my compatriots introduce themselves. So, Ben, do you want to push?
Yeah, I'm Ben. I have a channel on YouTube. It's
Really?
I do.
Tell us the whole place again.
It's actually Transformer Megazord on there, isn't it? Because I thought that was a really great name back like 4 years ago, and you can't change it. So it's but it's Benscollectables. Yeah, it's fun. I like doing the YouTube. Hopefully you guys have watched me. If you haven't, then you know I don't tick everybody's boxes. So.
For your little trailer thing?
Yeah, and we don't have any leads, so we do have a screen planned.
It's a very tiny screen, we do apologise, technical difficulties and all that, so the people at the front will have an amazing view, everyone else, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Just go YouTube 3 after all.
Do it on that.
Sorry, we'll get our phones out.
Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. Now, like most people growing up, as a kid I absolutely loved toys. As I grew older, my passion started to fizzle out and those toys got locked up and put in the loft. In 2007 I was diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder and received treatment in the form of cognitive eye therapy, also known as EMDR. Now the treatment worked fantastically and I responded really well to it. But as a side effect, it almost acted like a switch. It rekindled my passion. I was almost reliving my childhood. I decided to mess about with the toys that I got, and it was very therapeutic and actually really helped. And my friends and family actively encouraged me to try YouTube. It was already some really established reviewers by then, and I thought, sure, why not? It was really helping, so I'd give it a go. And now basically Benscollectables has expanded from there. We've gone from reviewing what I had as a kid to now working with some amazing companies. I work with Lego, I work with Nintendo, I work with Disney UK. And that's on top of some of the amazing third-party companies that make Transformers, which was my huge passion as a child, which really got me back into collecting. Benscollectables has continued to grow. It's now even expanded into other lines such as my beard blog and of course my gaming blog. And we now have the Benscollectables website up and running, where I also showcase my photography skills when I photograph and review the products I receive. I try to give a very honest opinion of what I have, but sometimes the big kid in me really does just come out. Make sure you stop by and check out some of my other videos, and if you like what you see, feel free to subscribe, give it a big thumbs up, and welcome to Benscollectables.
Oh my god. Ben, I haven't seen your face, so much of your face on the video before.
I know.
Or the beard.
If come behind you, his hands in front of you, like, oh,
That's Ben! Yeah, can he come round here because the lights are right?
Yeah, and I'm the only one that just watches the trailers.
Simon, do you want to shoot next?
Yeah, I'm Simon, and I have 2 YouTube channels. One of which I can't actually remember what the password is, or how to get into it, or how to access it. So all those rant videos that I tend to sometimes do, they're supposed to be on the other channel that I can never remember. Yeah, I've been one of the longest reviewing YouTubers now, for a while now. I started in 2000 and something. I've been on YouTube 10 years next year, as a reviewer. But yeah, that's me.
We have no channel trailer for you, actually.
That's fine, I don't have one myself.
You do a little dance, advertise yourself now.
Yeah, you can make one like impromptu.
Yeah,
Impromptu.
there is a camera right there.
I'll just stand in this. It's actually quite therapeutic.
It really is.
It's like, yes.
That's something carry on whilst they talk.
So I'm Dorian. My channel is Vigorous, or the brand of the company, Captain Death. I don't really do reviews. I used to do like, here's how you Transformers talk. I thought this is boring as hell. And now I just kind of shout at the camera. But I'm quite intense and I get really passionate about really good toys, or really bad toys. I play the card of the angry Scotsman, so I'll either be elated or like, oh, this thing's terrible. Like I'll kind of, there's no in between in my channels. I do have a trailer that Joe can play, which kind of sums up my channel.
I can remember how to like do everything backwards.
Transport from tractor trailer to battle station to robot to super robot and back. But this thing, this. How do you know that? You can't say that. Oh, by the gods. 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 Long-range firepower for living death to Autobots. City Commander, he's no so-called Ultra Magnus. Turbo Fast Transformers.
Yeah. Get good at this.
Was anyone more left?
Thank God!
Oh,
wait, no, there's 2 actually.
Oh. I'm Ben. I run a channel called What's Drop 23, which is the best name in the world because I can't even pronounce it myself. I've got a little channel trailer which we'll show in a bit. I guess what I do is just kind of creative stuff. I do a bit of reviews, I do a bit of vlogging in a way, and then every now and then I do videos of kind of a meld of the two. I guess you can make your own minds up what sort of genre I feel, but I guess I'm here to be the more creative, artistic side of this lot. So you can judge for yourselves, I suppose. In my 2-year-old trailer.
There is a 5th dimension, beyond that which is known to video. It is a dimension as vast as shelf space and as timeless as almost a year ago. It is the middle ground between excellent and bogus, between blog and video review, and it lies between the pit of one man's toy box and the summit of his shelves. This is the dimension of talking about plastic robots. It is an area which we call the Twit Zone.
Do it break down, it might be made of jam. And don't forget about the light piping. I killed it. Your bargaining posture is highly dubious.
Ooh, Booker! I look like a badly dubbed Kung Fu man. It's nice. Nice. This guy is so nice. This is just so nice. Why don't you like it?
When I say go, I will act.
How did you like that then?
Sweet. So that's all the introductions over and done with. So let's begin this little questioning thing. Actually, first, so we'll just like start off talking about a topic, and if you have a question, just feel free to put your hand up, and we will get to you as quickly as possible. So yeah, that's pretty much how it's going to go. So yes, let's start this off. First off, how did all of you guys start off on YouTube?
Well, I used to just watch Transformers videos. Like a lot, if you watch YouTube, you watch a lot of like, I want to look at this toy, you need to transform it. And if actually Hugh and Peter were the first two ones I used to watch because there used to be a fan TF website that's now dead, and they would feature those videos. And I had to go at it, and it was diabolical. Like, oh, here's how you transform this. But just as time went on, it was just that kind of, it was a feeling of, I want to do that. I want to take part in this. I want to be part of this movement. I want to be, you know, so we can look back and thought, well, I did this YouTube thing. And really all it took was just getting a camera out and just getting started.
Shall I go first?
Yeah. Second.
I guess, I suppose I can trace my origins back to the very first place that I ever used this really awkward username was the Cybertron UK Sightings Forum. And I got speaking to a couple of guys in there, and they were like, oh, have you seen these guys' videos? And I think they were like, I'm pretty sure the first one I saw was Thew's crankcase one, might have been that one. Like Pure, Evangelist, those kind of guys. And I just thought, this is really cool stuff, I've got to have a go at that. But the very first thing I did make was a really basic stop motion actually, because I was like, well, I've got Windows Movie Maker. I don't know really what it does, I know it's not very good, but it can do this. So that was my first ever video, and I've just stuck with that program ever since, because it's just, well, I've become a master of it now. And there you go. Pretty Sony Vegas.
Yeah, totally. For the win.
Sweet. So I started off on YouTube back in 2009. My stuff is mainly stop motion animations, and my the first video I published was called Bumblebee vs. Barricade, which is, as the title might suggest, Bumblebee fighting Barricade and kicking his ass. I got started thanks to a couple other stop motion animators, people like Night/2020, Mirrorsoul Twins. I'm not sure if any of these names are ringing bells for people. That man back there, good for him. People like that got me interested in doing stop motion with Transformers, and over time that developed into me wanting to make stories and a series. And so over time my skills have improved, my storytelling's gotten better, editing as well. So what was it? Kind of last year and this year I released a full-length stop motion movie called Transformers Broken Mirror, which was a kind of crossover between Shattered Glass and the regular universe. It was kind of a for the fans, by the fans kind of movie, and I consider that sort of my
Magnum opus.
My magnum opus. That's the word. Thank you. Yeah, I'm very proud of that, and yeah, that's my life story. Mr. Beardy Ben.
Yes, well, mine's really depressive and morbid compared to all of those. And I was ill, just come out of the police. I was having treatment, and it was really therapeutic. Started to mess about with toys and that again. And I was watching people like Mr. Mentz, and I was watching Simon, and I was quite inspired. And yeah, the family backed me. They said, mess about with them, put it on camera. I started taking pictures, just putting pictorial reviews up and stuff like that, and then just progressed from there, and gradually got worse, I think.
Well, when I started, it was 2006, and there was the best way to describe a lot of the reviews to anyone who's watching Transformers reviews back in then was like Ben, but without the passion. They were all very scientific. The one review that always springs out clear in my mind is a guy called Matrix Prime. He's been gone a good few years now, but he was always talking about the angles and the design and the indentation and the transformation and the size and the scale. And I looked at that and I'm like, it's a toy. So I decided I'm going to give it a crack at, making it a bit more light-hearted and a bit more about the character that the toy was designed to be sold of. I think I said that the way around. And then do the toy as kind of like an after product. Because I did at one point try just talking about just playing characters with the comic book characters, and it really didn't go very far because people just couldn't seem to grasp it without something physical to look at the same time. And that's why I started. It was because I wanted to do something that was a little bit light-hearted, and I picked up a camera. Well, yeah, I picked up a camera, and I went with it. And I think I just happened to find just something at that point in time that worked. Sweet. Yeah, that's why I went with it.
It seems that all 5 of us then are doing for fun. Like, it's like, that looks fun, I'll do that.
Yeah.
Like, all 5 of us, that is the reason. No one's like, I want to make some monies.
Yeah.
I think this looks like a lot of fun.
I think like doing it because you enjoy it, because it's fun, is probably the best reason to get into YouTube.
Yeah.
Like, if you go into it like to get famous or to earn money, which
Good
is
luck
like,
with that.
yeah, good luck with that. Because it's an extremely like, it's an absolute minefield. Like, getting to a point where you can like monetize your content, but also like just getting famous. There's no like formula to it. And why would you want to be famous? It's not great. I think
because people are insecure.
Yes, I think that's like a lot of YouTube now. It's kind of evolved into I'm 18 years old. I'm white. I'm attractive. I can make videos about relatable things. Bring in the cash and the women. And
there's the man wearing the Game Grumps shirt.
Can't see their faces.
The way it's done is that I'm a super happy keen American who's very well lit, who's like, hey folks, and it's formulaic. You can actually write down, get an actor and be like, do this for me.
Yeah. Actually, kind of on the subject of Game Grumps, a while back they talked about like what YouTubers kind of evolved into, and so most of the people on Game Grumps, which is like a gaming show, are animators. You know.
Big fan of Game Grumps.
Awesome. That's good. I was hoping that people would actually recognise what this shirt was.
Aaron.
Yay! Aaron. Where was I? I've already forgotten. Oh yeah. So most of them are animators, and a while back they talked about kind of what YouTube has become. It's more sort of quantity over quality. So it hasn't become like a kind of viable place for animators to like produce work for like a decent income. It's more about like, oh, this gets us the most views. This will appear on your like what to watch lists. So the system's kind of screwed a little bit, and I think that's kind of happened with Google taking over. But that's a whole other can of worms that we are not going to open just yet. Just yet. Anything else you guys would like to add?
Well, to lead on to your point, so this will probably come up later on, but for me, YouTube, what I want YouTube to be is like a kind of creative hotbed. When I first started, becoming a partner was just like, wow, you can become a partner, and you kind of would up your game and strive to get really good videos and get the views, get the exposure to become a partner. When YouTube changed it to lower the thresholds so they could get 1 million people bringing in $1, to get money that way, I think it meant like, oh, because I mean, I got an email one day being like, oh, you're a partner. I'm like, oh, alright, okay, that's nice. But there was a time when it was kind of like, I want to have these well-produced videos and have great content just to have. I mean, yeah, it was nice to get a partner, but it's just spot-on creative. I mean, things like back in the day when you kind of have to do video responses, like it was all about building communication and building creativity. Now it really does come down to bad TV. Like it's become like a very, you can't really access channels that well anymore. There's not as much, you know, two-way content, and it has come down to kind of light TV. Like, you know, I've got a show I watch and it will come on and I'll see it every week often when it comes to YouTube, and it's taken away that level of like craftsmanship. And also your channel, you guys, you really put that effort in, but there's, for every channel like you guys, there'll be like hundreds that are just like rolling out whatever crap they can get and they're raking in the views.
YouTube throws them out to you as well.
Yeah.
You know.
Like my recommended, and like I would never watch any of those channels, my recommended feeds ever. I'm quite negative, but you know, there's a lot of negativity. I am a really positive guy, I'm really mean as well.
I'm all out of water.
We've got a wee itinerary here.
we do. So next on this little itinerary list is so what kind of equipment do you guys use? Like setup, software, hardware, like these sorts of things.
Ryan wants this one bit.
Yeah, right. I started off with, I think it was like a tiny, or whatever camera I had at the time, not tiny Canon thing. That could only shoot in like 640 by 480. sort of chucked it out pretty quick.
Pretty quick?
No, okay.
You got
that's
HD
it,
like
that's it.
this year.
So I got rid of that, got myself a, actually no, I started using the webcam on my laptop, which was probably even worse. Then I got myself a Microsoft webcam, still pretty much the same quality but far better sound. I've basically been just sort of upgrading in increments, like, oh, get a bit better sound, get a bit better video quality, and just this year, I finally got a brand new iPod. It's like full HD, proper good sound, boom. Actually, this is what I use to record everything now. It's just the best camera I've got, and the proper camera I have got, something like that, makes a horrible whirring noise with the motors as it's recording a video, and I know that, well, a bit like that, not as posh as yours, but I know I've actually had a couple of people, I know Dave Shotton finds it actually therapeutic to listen to in those videos where I've done that, but it's like, I can't stand it. It's like, how do I get rid of this noise? I just can't use that, but it probably does do pretty nice video quality, but it's just, can't compromise one half of something for another. You've really got to go all in, just try and get good sound, good video, and anything that does that is perfectly fine. And in these days, you've really got to have it widescreen as well, so like 1080p or 720.
Ben, you've got quite slick setup. You've got the lights, you've got the cameras, what do you use?
Camera-wise, I just use my iPhone. It's the iPhone 6. I've got upgraded to the 6 Plus and the 6 just because it's got their focus pixels, so which is some sort of magic thing they now do. So I can have my hand in front of the camera and there's no transition. It instantly focuses on my hand without it kind of panning in, panning out. So you don't get any of that. But anybody can record now with a cell phone. Most of them, I can tell I'm going to Canada, can't you? Cell phone. Most of them shoot 1080p now. Most of them will shoot at 60 frames per second. I mean, the iPhones can record at 4K, but YouTube don't really like 4K. What else have I got? I've got good light setup. Lights, you can come to a penny. You can go to eBay or something like that and just type in camera lighting. Sorry, somebody didn't turn it on silent. Yeah. And just I think I've got one overhead, one either side, and I've just got my massive great Gundam base now. I've got all of that as a background.
How many chain bases is that? It's at least like 12.
It's 24. It's 24 chain bases. But people were complaining that my videos were either too dark when they were shot on black, or they were too bright, like up to bottom as bright on the white. So I kind of thought, okay, I'll go grey. I thought that was a sensible thing. People, I think 90% of my comments on my channel now are not about the toy I've just reviewed. What's that background? Where can I get it? So I may well just review the background.
If you want that, go to eBay, type in chain base and you'll find them. Because I've got them now too.
I got all of those from Search
Toys.
Link available down here. Yes, so it's a fairly simple setup, but I mean, I assume most of you have a mobile phone and you take pictures on it now. Most of you are on it now, and it's just you can get a tripod or even like the little desk mounts. And I got a camera connectivity thing. Put it on top of your tripod and just pop your phone on there. And it holds it on, and that's it. It's nice and simple.
What about yourself, Joe?
Myself, I started off with this tiny little Canon A3000, which I've still got, but it has the battery life of like a mayfly or something. It's ridiculous. Although I do still use it. So that's what I started off doing pretty much all my videos on, not just the vlogging, but also like the animation work as well. And that, it was a decent camera to start off with. I could get a fairly decent quality out of it. It did have the little black bars on the sides when you actually rendered it, but you know, that doesn't really matter too much. And now I've kind of upgraded to this big old frickin' thing, which weighs a ton. It's a Canon EOS 600D, that's what it says in there. I mean, most of my equipment is kind of like, I still live with my parents, so most of my equipment is like bought for me or hand-me-downs. Yeah, it does cost a fair amount, but I like not to think about that. So with animations, things like that, so I've got the camera, I've got tripods, kind of like that one, but it's made of metal and it hurts like hell when it bashes into your leg. Because of like how my channel is now evolving and like I'm wanting to really like push the bar with my animation work and my storytelling and all that sort of stuff, I've now sort of like taken over half the kitchen with this massive filming set, which I've never been able before to like set up in its entirety. I had it for my first series back in like 2010-11, but I couldn't like use it in its entirety because it's so big. It's like from actually like there to the end of the table. It's pretty big. And it's got sidewalls as well.
That is my kitchen.
So yeah, it's just made out of wood. You get that from B&Q, home base or wherever. I started off in terms of lighting with pretty much just like my room lights and a normal desk lamp. That's really all I needed at the time. But of course, with the change in like style and like wanting to get better and better, I still use room lights. But I also have, for one particular set, I'm building me and my dad are building this big old lighting rig which can like sit on top of the set piece. It looks really cool. I haven't got any photos with me sadly, but you'll see it in my next series hopefully, and I hope that it pays off. I hope that all the effort pays off. And it's really cool as well because I've got like working doors and like wall pieces are interchangeable. It's like the Tracy Island playset that you never had as a child, and I just built it.
I'm sorry, I was going to just jump in there before. Just going back to what Ben said as well. With your mobile phones and stuff, like probably your cameras, the sound quality is okay. Honestly, if you can get hold of a USB like directional microphone or something like that, most of the mobile phones now, they'll have a lead. Like I've got one for the iPhone. It's like a camera connectivity kit. You can plug a USB microphone into it. It doesn't state that anywhere in the instructions, but it works. And its sound quality on them isn't brilliant, but if you put the USB microphone on there, it really, really does improve no end. It's just
like
really,
a
really
USB
crisp.
to a jack lead.
It's because the iPhones use like that little lightning cable, don't they?
Oh,
and
I
it
see,
just goes straight into a USB. And your light setup, you know the bigger lights, they're exceptionally warm, aren't they?
They are. Well, actually, I've kind of been efficient. I went to Maplin's, just bought a ton of LEDs. They do get quite hot.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's expensive. I'll say that.
Yeah.
I will say about cameras and things, you don't need something this big and this expensive to do any kind of like videos whatsoever. Like something like an iPhone's perfectly fine. Maybe not for like animating and stop motion, but there are cameras which are far more like cheaper than this, which will do the job just as well. So you don't need to spend £300 on this big old thing. It's
very good price.
Sorry, no problem. Actually, that.
You stand up in your videos a lot. You stand up and you stand back.
Yeah, that was when just what you were saying about the video camera. I started off with a Labtech Pro webcam. That's what I started, and I used that for 3-4 years before I actually moved to an actual video camera. And of course, one of the things I'm well known for is I have terrible video quality most of the time. And it seems to be that as the picture has got better, I somehow have managed to mess up the audio. But I just had to try and find something that worked. I mean, you know, at one point I was recording in my bedroom, sitting on my bed. You know, you guys are talking about chain sets and tripods and stands, and my camera stand is a coffee table and a footstool on top of it. Because that puts it at just perfect height for my head and shoulders to review a toy. And then if I'm doing if I'm standing up, and that's when I'm in my sitting room,
that's when you're in full rant mode.
That's when I'm in full rant mode, and I can be as an expressionist and as great as I like. That's literally just on my shelving unit. And I put it on the one shelving unit, and I stand back, and it gets me very nicely there, and it's how I can do it. You know, I only have a cheap video camera that I need to somehow try and figure out the audio settings to find out why the audio keeps going. That on me. But yeah, so that's all I've ever used. I mean, I could have gone, you know, doing what you guys done and, you know, put so much energy into it, but
What you've got works.
What I've got works, and
if it isn't broken, don't fix it.
It's not broken, don't fix it. Yeah, some people say, the kind of, to put it bluntly, the amateur quality of my videos, because in comparison to any one of yours, I am, I'm a hobo on a park bench. But, it's part of the thing that people say, it works for you. So, if it's not broke, don't say it. If it's not broke, don't fix it. Yeah. Oh, I did try it one time when I reviewed Fans Project's Firebolt. I tried to do the hands in front of the camera video, and the response was almost unanimous. Go back to the old way. Don't sit there and with your hands. Go back to your old way so we can see your face. So it works.
Yeah, we watch you because that's your style.
Yeah.
That's why we watch you.
You're watching you, not the toy.
Yeah, fair.
I'm watching you.
I don't care what toy he has in his hand.
Yeah.
I want to see the RAM.
I think I just need to do a new channel, find something I want to get really annoyed about, and just shout for half an hour.
Jim, are you stretching? You have a question?
I have a question.
Yeah.
How do you guys deal with messages since Google took over YouTube? How do you do with the...
Is that like
I think we've got a bit of a bigger topic for that.
Oh, you've got one for that,
yeah.
haven't we?
Yeah.
That'll be Google sucks. That'll be a topic.
Yeah, somewhere in there we do. Yeah.
Okay.
To finish off the equipment, so I don't know if I kind of have the middle ground of I have a ready cam. So you have phones, you've got like serious cams, you've got something, and I have just a Toshiba something on. Now I got this like 5 years ago, and it does HD, and it fits my hand. It's a nice camcorder. I like having a camcorder. It's got an excellent thumb button, but my special weapon is my IKEA freestanding lamp. It's the perfect height. If you see in all my videos, you can see the light reflected in my glasses in every single one. But camera is secondary. Lighting for me is primary. You can take an okay camera, and with enough lights, it will look fantastic. But if you take that camera and have bad lighting, it will look terrible. It will look absolutely terrible. So lighting for me is the best thing. I switch on that light. Everything is actually maybe a bit too bright, but I kind of like that glow as I get on the white balance. But lighting, and it doesn't have to be like a desk lamp. If you just have a freestanding lamp, or if it's a sunny day, open the window. See natural lights is the best thing in a camera.
It's very underrated,
but
isn't it?
when you're ever going to get that much natural light, it's just never going to happen. But yeah, I would say cameras are secondary. Get your phone, whatever. But if you want to do YouTube, either floating hands or face to face, you must have good lighting. That is so critical.
So I've seen some new guys on there, and they've done an absolutely amazing video, but it's just so dark. There's no lighting there.
Yeah.
They've used the background, which they've gone that far as to get like a sheet or something put over. But there's just no lighting, and you can't pick up really any of the details. And
also, I don't know if HD cameras just tend to get exponentially better with light. Like they just suddenly kind of rocket up compared to another camera. Because when I first got mine, and I was using just like a kind of actual overhead lamp, and then I was like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna get something better. I was like, oh, this is so much better. Like you can see all my pores. But I would definitely recommend. It doesn't have to be expensive. Like I've got one of those. Everyone should have one. It's IKEA. It's got poles. It's got a bowl dish. Like everyone has them.
It's kind of like owning a guitar. Like I got my first guitar like a month ago, and it wasn't expensive. It was like £200 or something like this and that. But it felt right for me. And if it feels right for you, if that's what you want to work with, that's perfectly fine. I do kind of envy the fact that you have one of those. This thing for vlogging, it might have a flip screen, so I can look at my amazing face, but Jesus Christ, it kills my arm.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to get one of them selfie sticks with one of them either.
See, I like a large pole.
At least you get a dog tripod.
I like Dave Mess in the crowd. I can actually see myself when I record stuff. I'm like, hi. is it recording?
He can do that. He just needs a CD.
Dorian, you still need a better tripod, mate.
Yeah, I've got a Gorilla Pod. It's the one that grips onto stuff. Doesn't work anymore. I've got like about a dozen videos where I'm like, my camera's falling, and I'm just like trying to grab onto it. Yeah. I desperately need to get a tripod. Or this is from my last video: a stool, a pillow, and a box. And my camera on top.
It works. If all you're doing is sitting there talking to the camera, a stool on a stool works.
Actually, Gorilla Pods are great things to have. Like, do they work with iPhones?
Well, I mean, I've got to say, I was going to bring this up as a bit of an expansion. What I've got, I used to use it for my camera. It's got a bit knackered now, it's a bit old, but it's just so versatile. I mean, you don't even need the end that actually fits on a tripod. You just wrap it round something, and most of the videos I've been doing recently, I just like wrap it like that, curl that over like the end of my computer monitor, and just rest it on there.
Oh, that's interesting.
And you know, as long as, like Simon said, as long as it's actually in front of your face. It doesn't matter what you're resting it on, as long as it stays there at the height you want, the angle you want. You know, at the end of the day, I was going to see what's behind it. So it's all a bit makeshift, and I think that's a bit of an added fun, actually getting all that together.
They're also great desk toys as well. Just like fiddle around.
No, see this on a camera. Your camera's some sort of like alien robot and it has arms and legs. It's incredible. Got a question at the back?
Not a question, but a suggestion.
Yeah.
With the Gorilla Pods, they do like a thicker one for cameras your size.
Oh yeah, I have seen those. I did try
the beasts are enormous.
I know.
Silverback.
I did try. I did try to use like a regular Gorilla Pod with this, and it just was like. Oh, it's like a digger just sort of flipping up onto its shovel and gets stuck there.
Question.
Actually, just a recommendation. There's another product called Spider Podium, and it's like an 8-armed gorilla pod.
That's cool.
And it looks like an alien face hugger, but you can basically use it to put anything onto anything.
That's pretty cool.
It means that I've sort of hung stuff from the ceilings in pubs to do board game recording.
That's
and stuff,
cool.
but
Yeah, that's good because Gorilla Pods can't suspend that well, and I would want to suspend the camera at the back.
Yet another suggestion. If anyone has ever seen Kyushin, what he did for his stop motions was, you know, the Revenge of the Fallen sea spray. He just put his camera in the sort of
in the bed.
And the Voyager Ironhide. Just used that as a kind of tray so you could move it around smoothly.
Oh, and it's all that kind of. Oh, that's excellent. Speaking of toys, I've had Unicron hold my camera for me before. Just like put it like that, so I can get a good mounting. Jem, you got a suggestion, a question?
It was a suggestion actually about. It was a sound one. So it's a sound one. It's not. It's about you were talking about directional microphones and stuff like that. The first one I bought cost me a tenner off Amazon, and I got a box. I put some sponges inside it, put the mic inside, and it gives you that clear sound because you're not echoing from the walls.
But you've got a really silky voice already, though. So.
But I mean, mine's beefed up now a bit, mine now. But starting with a box with some sponges in stops the echo. Helps the sound quality much better.
Yourself?
Okay, sorry to disappoint you, but this is a question.
No.
But have you ever had moments while you're filming a video where, you know, like for example, your camera just...
I would hope not.
Don't want to get a bit of drifting.
Yeah, so my camera sometimes just tilts, but I keep that in because for me, I like that level of just not comedy, but it's like shit happens, man. So when I used to do floating hands, I'd have my camera just pure face plant sometimes. But yeah, I've never had my light fall over luckily because that'd be disastrous. But I've had my camera just totally flop sometimes, and you fix it, you edit it, you cut it out, nothing happens.
See, I have an extremely bad posture when I'm videoing. It's normally me that falls over. Because I have. I mean, originally I had an 8-light setup, which was just too much because like the plastic was melting. It was, but I have the lights, and then I have like a table kind of this height, and I'm there squatting like this, doing the video. Because if I get my chair, I'm too low. If I stand, I'm far too high, so I need to be seeing what I'm doing. And yes, it's just generally me that falls over, as opposed to the...
Actually, suggestion, why don't you use a cushion to sit on the chair?
Oh. I'm really short. Something like a step ladder.
Does anybody else now really want a behind-the-scenes shot?
Yes. On that note, see if you ever want to do floating hands, try transforming a toy from that far away.
Oh,
it's a different bug. You're like, it's not the same thing. That's what off camera.
And if you're looking at the monitor, it's like, oh.
Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah. Or you've got to get a pen or a knife or a key to get that little bit out, and you're still trying to talk at the same time.
I was trying to
trying
to get everything.
That I just ripped in half. Sorry, Ben.
Don't worry about it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. If it's MP Megatron, that usually starts me off.
So we've gone through equipment. Is there anything else anyone wants to add? Any sort of like Red Bull doesn't count equipment, Ben? That's not how it works. But I don't think normally it's like software. And software, I think it depends. Also, you're using a really particular kind of software.
Yeah.
Me and Ben use Movie Maker, like pros.
Represent.
But you can actually do so much with Movie Maker if you know what to do. But I used to use QuickTime Pro, and it was an absolute riot. Once you can use it, it's great. But it was like export, import, take the audio, take the visual. It was an absolute joke.
I just use iMovie.
Oh,
I do all the editing on the iPhone as well.
Yeah,
Everything in
I've
hand.
since I've got this, I do like, what I'll do first is edit with iMovie on this, then put it in Movie Maker. Because this will, this does so many more effects than Movie Maker does like zooming and all that kind of thing.
Oh,
It's
actually,
just a
you do
little
this.
bit better. Yeah.
I just. The next section we have is.
Wait, another recommendation one. If anybody
You guys are good, but
it's my room. Oh damn! If anybody's using a Mac to do their video editing, iMovie is fantastic, but do not believe them when they say they've updated it with new shit. They nerf it every release. Just get the earliest version of iMovie you can possibly download. Because they just take out effects and take out effects and take out features and take out features.
But then they add them in the back later, just in case.
at cost.
This is Apple we're talking about. It's coming back like £500 per bar.
So moving on, Joe, what's the next category?
I want to quickly talk about my software.
Oh, okay, how dare you?
Hijacking my panel.
What you want to say?
So I use something called Corel Video Studio Pro, which is like the, I don't know,
real
budget.
software.
Yeah. It's like budget After Effects or something like that. It's kind of like Sony Vegas. I've been using that pretty much ever since I started. Like, I even, before I got this program called Stop Motion Pro, I actually like did all my animation, like shortening the frames in that software, like shifting it down to like 3 milliseconds, and like that was good, but it was very time consuming. I still I've been using that, yeah, as I said, pretty much all my time I've been on YouTube. And I've had to like upgrade over time. It's like, it costs about 50 quid, something like that. So it's pretty good, especially for what you get. There's a lot of like special effects and transition-y things and lots and lots of layers. We like add like 20 different videos on top of each other at the same time if you want to. And Stop Motion Pro was a great thing to have. Like, I got that when I started working on Broken Mirror. It just made my life so much easier. Just like, I could just take all the pictures, drop them into the software at like a preset frame rate. I usually film at around 10 frames per second, which is that most people film either like 12 or 24. I just sort of like found that's my style, that's how I'm going to rock and roll. And yeah, that works for me, and like there's a lot you can do in that as well. Rig removal, taking out little things like make them look like they're flying.
Why don't you do those things?
It's magic. Yeah, so that's a good thing to have. Corel also has a kind of poor man's Photoshop, which does all the same things really for a much cheaper price, called PaintShop Pro. Yeah, that's pretty much all the software I've been using, like the major software. Oh, there's also, for my voice acting stuff, Audacity. Everyone knows about that. Free software, great for anything audio, like lots of different filters and things you can do with that.
There's a lot of awesome podcasty people in the room here, isn't there? And I imagine most of you all use Audacity. Very diverse.
You got a suggestion for that?
It's now become suggestions, not questions.
Criticism?
I was going to make a tonal shift if I could. How do you deal with the H word?
What a segue.
Haters.
Oh, that's a great segue because that's what we were going to
Well,
talk about
yeah,
next.
luckily, I don't think I'm big enough to have any. Like, I don't. I'm
Yeah.
really like. I mean, I'll be the guys. Maybe you're Ben. Not really. You're a nice guy.
Oh no, I get thumbs down now. When
Oh no, not this thing.
my video like has just finished
Right in the heart,
processing,
man.
and it goes thumbs down. It's like, what? you haven't even watched my intro yet.
That's why
I don't care. I've had a lot of shit in my life, and I really, if somebody's going to watch a video, they're still watching the video. I don't care. At the end of the day, if you go into, we talk about YouTube stats and stuff later on, I think. But if you go into YouTube stats, if somebody gives you a thumbs up or a thumbs down, it still counts.
Yeah, still true ratings.
It's still. I get criticism. I get. You just kind of take it on the chin. I'm never going to. I'm boring. Really, I don't have like all this adventurous flamboyance, and I just kind of get on with it. I mean, I put a lot of work into it. I try hard. Editing takes ages, and then it's sometimes a little bit disheartening when you have, I don't know, like 40. I mean, that Devastator review I did, the Combined Wars Devastator. That went crazy. I think that was like nearly 1,000 likes, thumbs up or something like that. But then again, there was like 60 odd thumbs downs. I said, I don't like the toy, give you a thumbs down.
Oh, yeah.
So, not A for effort or something. Yeah, just take it on the chin. There's a lot of cyber bullies out there. I think you can elaborate a bit on Mirror on that, can't you?
Yeah, I think there's a few people in this room. If I mention the name down, so two just go. Yeah. And he was a shall I take this now or shall I leave it with the haters?
No, you can roll it.
Yeah, go on.
It was what, 5 years ago now he first popped up?
Yeah, 5 years I think, yeah.
And now he was a comedy act, and to give the idea of the mentality of this guy, he had a previous YouTube channel where he did impersonations of Fred and Rosemary West. That's to give you the mentality of this guy. And then for whatever reason, he latched onto me. And I will give him his due, he was very good. He got my inflections down, he got my accent down, he got my mannerisms down. If he hadn't have gone the direction he did, I'd have brought the man a pint to AA because he was very, very good. It was a great parody act of me. But then he did this one video where the humour was very, very infantile and puerile, and it was all gay sex innuendo, and it just went from there. I did a video response to it because a lot of people jumped to my defence. And I'm not exactly a shrinking violent, so I don't let others fight my battles for me. And I said, I'm doing this one video on this guy, and that's it. And I actually managed to stick to that. But he went at me, and then it got really nasty. He started insulting my family. He started insulting my girlfriend at the time. Anything in an effort to get a reaction out of me. This guy was pure troll the whole way through. He was intelligent. He wasn't stupid. He knew what he was doing, and he was doing it purely as a reactional humour thing. And when it didn't work on me, he started going after other reviewers. Skullbrin, for instance, he went after you. He went after Pred. He got really vicious with Pred, another reviewer, where he started going after his wife as well. He got bad with Kal-El Prime at one point. And in the end, we ended up calling the police on this guy because because YouTube. Anyone ever reported anybody on YouTube? Has anything ever happened if you reported?
Nothing as drastic as that.
My channel's been copied like 5 times in the last week.
Oh yeah,
sorry about that.
Ben's videos.
Yeah, I think most of those are like bot channels or something. They're just take related videos and.
I'm having to constantly report them and get them taken down.
They are very annoying.
And and this, we reported him to YouTube, nothing happened. And he kept going and going and going and going. And then did he start sending out private messages as well?
Yeah, I think that's what he did for a time, and then after a while he just sort of lost interest and then just died down.
Yeah, because eventually, because I know that at least 2 of them went to the police about it and reported him, and the police had to go to YouTube, and then YouTube took action. Because he was getting really, really sinister. It was going beyond infantile jokes and attempts to capture a rise, so it was almost actually physically threatening to you. And that was when they pulled him, and then he came back, because he had a lot of clone accounts. This was back in the day where you could make a YouTube name just with an ID and a password. You didn't need an attached email address to it. So he was coming back with these clone accounts and fake accounts, and he had nearly as many subscribers as me at one point. And they were all clone accounts. If you went into his subscriber list, they were just a name and nothing. And then he got pulled, and then he came back with a different name. Like he was Diantis04 or something like that at that point. Came back with a different name, and then he just kind of gave up. But it took about 2 years for him to eventually. Some of his videos are still on YouTube, and people have still, I had one friend of mine who found one of his videos and thought it was me. And it's a guy in a bumblebee mask and a pair of Spider-Man white fronts dancing.
That is what you should do.
I would do that, but I would put it on YouTube. Somebody else would for me. It took about 2 years completely for this guy to go away, and there's still, Ghost of Starscream in the annals of YouTube. His videos are still there.
Not just that,
including his Fred West ones.
Not just that as well, but the amount of times when he took videos of you, videos of me, and just still edited them and then just added all that nonsense.
I forget what the title was called. B-movie, is it? Where you can download the actual YouTube videos. Yeah, he used something like that, and he'd take them, and he'd overwrite them, and he'd overdub them, and then he'd put them on other channels and other ghost channels and things like that. Funny enough, one of his mates, I know him. Oh. It was this one guy who used to. He was having a stage where he went through a YouTube troll phase. To be honest, now he's a lot older and he's a lot more mature. But I went to school with him in Roscommon.
Oh.
And when I found out and his name always resonated with me because he said he knew me. And there were things that I'd done when I was about 15, 16 that I didn't want the world of YouTube knowing. I was very seriously ill for a while, through my own making, you can leave it there, that he would have known about. And the last thing I wanted was some random troll getting this kind of information where he can put it all on YouTube and use it as something else to attack me. So his name stuck in my head. And the guy came up in conversation, he just turned around and goes, yeah, that was me. And I'm just like, why? And his answer was, I was being a cunt. I just had no answer for that. And there was no malice in him towards me, he was just being a prick. And to be honest, now I will say this, he puts on extremely good heavy metal shows. In Roscommon. You can see, imagine how that goes down.
Don't let it put you off, no, for goodness sake, because the reporting policy now, one thing Google has actually done pretty well, the reporting policy is pretty good, and there are a lot of trolls on YouTube, but then a majority of the people on YouTube are bloody nice people.
Yeah, they are.
And I get positive criticism, or constructive criticism. Yeah. That's too bright, where'd you get that background? But yeah, if you're now starting off, don't let that put you off at all. There's some really, really top chaps and chapettes on YouTube, and the reporting policy is pretty good now.
Yeah. You just got to remember, the internet, it's full of keyboard warriors, and they've got worse over the years.
Never underestimate the insecurity a man feels about the size of his genitals.
Maybe you should just have left the shades on. David's a suggestion or a question to you?
I think you have to accept a certain amount of criticism
Oh,
and take it on the chin because you offer to put your content up as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And if you do take that choice to put something up and it's not very good and someone says I don't like it, you have to take it on the chin. You have to be mad about it.
Before we go ahead, so who in this room, apart from the obvious ones, does YouTube? And I mean, like, does videos and has a community? And who, like, wants to do YouTube? Like, who has to think, I have to want to get started, I want to do this, I want to do it, or even to do it more? So, like, hopefully this kind of stuff isn't dissuading, but it's like, yeah, could we just get a camera and go do it, man?
Yeah, to be fair, the ones that...
It's like, no one's going to haunt you for 2 years, like, no, I can't do it.
Mine was certainly, ours was certainly, I don't really mean mine because it wasn't just me he went after, but that was certainly an extreme case. I don't think I've ever heard of him...
He's kind of dropped off the face of the earth.
Yeah, so. I think once we actually found out what his real name was,
he ran away.
Yeah. He ran away.
Yeah. I mean,
he found him on Facebook. I think Dave Wallace found him on Facebook in the end.
In this day and age, though, I mean, with social media as it is, you're not going to get any more trolling on YouTube than you would on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram, Tumblr. Tumblr?
Yeah. Tumblr is normally the one of the places where people go and troll one another on occasion.
Awesome. Reddit? 4chan? I don't know, I'm on Facebook and that's it.
No? Okay, moving on.
Actually, no, I'm very lucky that I don't have any sort of horror stories like that. Like, I don't really get that much hate from anyone. I'm amazing, yeah. No, I just don't get that much sort of hate comments. I get dislikes, obviously.
Because you're not in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Your work is...
Yeah, most of the time I'm not in front of the camera. But yeah, I think I do get dislikes. I don't get that much hate, but I get dislikes on my animation work. Especially there's this really old video that I did back in sort of 2010, I think, which was a reenactment of a scene from Revenge of the Fallen. So the scene where Bumblebee drives Sam up to go meet Optimus Prime in the graveyard.
The beginning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and it's somehow got 1 million views. It's one of my worst animations ever. But it's somehow got 1 million views, but it's like half and half dislike. But I can see why it's disliked because it's just crap. So yeah.
It's not personal.
Yeah, it's
because it's your work that they're critiquing on and not you.
Yeah.
Whereas the other guys including Ben's hands.
I don't like his hands. Yeah, manicure.
It's them themselves that they're critiquing, whereas it's just your work.
Yeah.
So it's not personal.
Yeah. So I'm in a very fortunate position. I'll put it that way. So yeah. What should we move on to? Let's skip ahead a little bit. Let's talk about connections, community, and collaborations. I have no idea what sort of question that was.
Well,
there's no question mark.
Collaboration's a big deal, so me and Ben have been talking and nothing come of it, because that's how it works. You talk, nothing happens. But, well, first of all then, so I used to be part of a thing called the 5 Awesome Transformers Guys. Does anyone remember that? 5ATG! And that was a system
And the
whereby...
Weekend Breakers.
Oh yeah. Was the days. So that was a way that there was one channel and like 10 people on it, and we would just have a topic, and then everyone would sound off on that topic every day, so you'd get tons of videos, and it was really good, because you'd often email, or what are you doing, are you discussing this, discussing that, and it just died, because sometimes that happens. I think there was not enough steam behind it. But it was fun, and it was fun to do collaborations at the very least on a channel basis. We're going to share a channel, and we're all going to stick our stuff on there. You're going to get tons of viewpoints, when Babs does his, and muzzles. But it was great to actually feel like we're doing this together, because, I mean, for everyone who has YouTube, how often do you talk to your YouTube friends about ideas and editing, or even ask tips and how to do this? Because quite often it's a solo game. It'll be you and your camera, and you figure it out. Whereas if I said, oh, I'm having trouble with this edit, you'd be like, oh, just do this. Oh, that's fine. But I think collaboration does not happen anywhere near enough. I don't think there's enough. Production side maybe, like you have a lot, because you have resources you're going to use.
Yeah, I've got like a ton of voice actors that I go to. Like Dan, where are you, Dan? There you are. Dan's one of my voice actors. He's going to be in Ascension. Josh, a friend back there. I've got a plan for him to be one of my voice character. But yeah, there's a lot of resources that I've got. Like, and that's sort of led on to having like some of the best friends I've ever had. Like, I've got a friend over in New York City called Max Linden.
Oh, Max Linden Productions.
You know, yeah, so he and I we started talking when I started making Uprising, and he did some voice work for me in that. And over time it's like, okay, I'll do some voice work for you. I'll do sound editing. So we had this little sort of back and forth thing going. And over time, it's just sort of become like best friends. I consider him one of my best friends, and I've never even met him in the flesh. I think that's like a really cool thing about YouTube. Sometimes, and it is a little bit of a dangerous world. You don't know who you're meeting online, but I've been fortunate that I've got to know Max like really well, and I consider him like up there as one of my best friends. It's good to have connections.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is an example where you see that a lot with production stuff, like, oh, I'll this. But you never see, how often do you see someone on someone's channel? How often do you see you and Dave in the same shot in a video? Has it never happened? It's not.
I've seen me on all these channels lately.
But it's just not something which, you know, for the vlogging side that I can do, it just doesn't happen. I wish it did.
Yeah.
But it's, and me and Ben were like, let's do a video all assembly, but we've got hours still, you know, we've got time.
This is technically a collaboration.
Yeah, no, definitely, yeah.
Do it.
But,
Come check out my room. I'm sorry.
Oh, Dave, can I get something?
Make sure you talk about a page on Facebook where we can all talk about YouTube, though.
TFYTC. But I really wish there were more collabs. Like Ben actually has done the biggest collab of all time.
That is the thing. I don't know if like now it's a good thing. It hasn't sort of aged well, because it was at a time where it's like so many people. It's like you can tell who has a good channel, because they're the ones who have done slick editing, good video quality, and you've got the guys who are like, fair play to them, you know. I really love the fact that everyone who was in that took the time to do that.
The
And it was like,
important
okay,
thing is you tried.
yeah, exactly. It's a great gesture, but at the end of the day, when you've got something like Fuse Clip,
oh, shut up.
which, which was just amazing getting through my email inbox.
I remember when you told me that. It was like, he's doing it.
You've got to try not to put that next to someone who is standing there in their living room, being lit only by their overhead line. You can hardly hear what they're saying. It's proper square, black bars down the side. It's like there's a real shift between quality between all these clips, and to get a really good collaboration, you've got to get that kind of seamless flow down, so it's not jarring.
But it's also content as well, rather than that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
You have a piece of shit camera.
Yeah, it's not so much that, but it's more if you're having like a slick video. You kind of want to meet up, record it all, and someone edit it so it's one video, because that collab was good, but it was a clip show. It was a clip show of small review, and it was an excellent thing.
I was sitting there thinking that, okay, this is going to be a hell of an edit. All it really was just putting all these clips together, cutting out some people's ums and ahs they didn't cut out themselves, and just sticking it all in one thing. That's all I did. Everything else was just everyone else. And it was amazing what some people actually did bring to the table on that, but at the end of the day, it's like half an hour of just, this bit's good, that bit's okay, that bit's good, that bit's okay. You know, it sort of goes up and down, and at the end of the day, I'm not sure whether I really hit the nail on the head with what I really want to do with that, but at the end of the day, it was great just putting it together, and that's what it's all about, just getting everyone in and saying, well, I'll have a go, yeah, you know. And that's really what it's about, just the community getting everyone together and having a go, because that's all it takes.
There was a time that a lot of the Transformers reviewers, we used to do collaborations an awful lot. You know, we had Kal-El Prime ran a separate channel that was just
Teletran 3.
Teletran 3.
That's
It's probably still on YouTube, and it's all collaborations. I mean, I did one with Kal-El Prime. I did one with Vangelis. I think I did one with you.
Yeah, we was going over something.
We're going over something happened, you know, and everybody there was an awful lot of it. But as you say, it's something that's just. And honestly, until you started mentioning it, I hadn't thought of collaborations with anybody in God knows how long. It's something that seems to have just died out.
Mm. Well, going back to what you were saying about community and stuff, I am actually done in the green this time. Doing the auto
flying the flag.
Yeah, flying the flag for auto assembling that, doing the videos, and then just YouTube exploding with all these auto assembly videos. And then doing responses to me, and then people doing responses to other people because they watch their videos and not even watch my videos.
Yeah.
And the community's just exploded. Yeah. All popping up on YouTube, all popping up on Facebook rather, on the community groups, on pages. And it's just absolutely amazing. And people coming up to me over the weekend going, I watch your videos, you were so excited. I'm like, you watch my videos? Really? Why?
You're pretty much the guy who kickstarts all the excitement.
Yeah,
exactly.
But it's all like it's heavily self-reliant. Like we've all. You know that phase where no one makes a video, and you're like,
yeah, exactly. That's why
you think, well, I should make one then. But that happens. You get this. When I first started watching YouTube, there was people everywhere. And one of my favourite, no one in the show knows it, but one of my favourite YouTubers is a guy called Boyle's Boy, who is a Polish guy who does the best videos. But he stopped making them years ago. But he was part of that generation, probably your guys, Simon. It was just like this new wave came in, and people just doing.
I've seen his videos. Yeah,
his stuff's amazing. But and then you always get like these groups coming in, but the problem I have, and this is a problem with YouTube, is that the way YouTube should work for recommended, it should be like, okay, so look at your channel, and I look at my channel, and I'm like, well, here's the subs you have in common, and here's ones you don't, you make like them. There could be 1,000 people in a room right now talking about all their channels, and we'll never see them, because YouTube doesn't properly advertise all the channels. It's just like, oh, this thing has 10 million subs, watch that. I'm like, no, I don't want to watch up to bonus. There's not enough level of YouTube to push the community, so it's like we have to do it ourselves. We have to, and then now that video responses are gone, like I remember having channels, you know, and you do a really good video and you have 5 video responses, and then that would have another video response, and you had this big web of responses. I remember doing a video years ago. It was like I've got 100 subs, and it was something called something about winning a success or something like that, and I did a video about what is success, and then Matt Clark did a video, some response to him, and you could follow the path of videos because it was all connected. And now that's gone, you need Facebook pages, like, you know, so everyone here knows of the TFYTC.
Yeah.
If you don't know it, Facebook, the TFYTC, as a Facebook page for YouTube. I mean, we talk about toys a lot, and we lick boxes, but the whole point of this was to be like, here's all the videos, check me out, give me a sub, give me a comment. It's one hub to have all the videos that you can watch and then unsubscribe there, because YouTube has nothing like that whatsoever to actually promote groups and actually bring people together. I'm really passionate with this, so I get a bit random.
The thing is, you can go onto one of your videos, you'll have Anaconda on one of your recommended, you know.
Exactly. And exactly, the recommended is a complete joke.
Yeah.
I'll say what you're saying about the TFYTC. I only like recently discovered that group like a month ago.
But it goes hard to get out there.
Yeah, but like because like most of my audience is kind of like
link down below.
But yeah, I only discovered it like a month ago, and I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't see it earlier. I mean, part of it is because I have so many Transformers Facebook groups that I can't keep track of them all. So it's nice to see that there is this community that exists in the UK, because most of my material goes out to the US.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, most of my audience is US based.
That's just quite a big decider, US, UK. Like, how many US reviewers do face-to-face reviews? How many, like, you know, see of all the US reviewers, when do you ever see their face in a review? You never do, ever.
No.
And nothing wrong with that still, Ben. But I'm saying nothing wrong with that, but you're just watching a toy. Whereas the UK, in my mind, Kal-El Prime was kind of one spearheaded it, but that's just to my exposure. But he was the one that goes like, can I pick up Churchill?
You go on.
Rather than being like, oh, I've got floating hands, it's like, here's Treasure, he's awesome. Like that's how it's done. Cause
That's
it's
the
like,
reason. That's the reason we watch Sam's videos.
yeah, exactly.
It's so exciting.
You don't care what this toy is.
No,
You're just
exactly.
my passion's gonna bleed through the screen. That's how
Oh,
it is.
it's
Rock Lord, isn't he amazing?
Also, I have noticed as well, if somebody else is reviewing a toy that you own, you're more likely to go, oh, actually, yeah, I'd
Well,
play
yeah,
that
because you
in a
want an
while.
opinion on it.
Yeah, is it good or bad? You think, well, you want somebody else's opinion, and you think, do you know what? I haven't reviewed that toy yet. I'll review it now.
That leads on. Do you know what YouTube should
I
be?
watch half of his
It's a discussion.
Transformer down there.
Yes, did that as well, yeah.
But I mean, like you said about the bottomless, but he tried. It's about a year ago.
Oh, did
He tried at the beginning. He was going to do he was doing the introduction.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, and he got absolutely ripped for it. They criticised him, but it was all his American followers that said, don't like that. It's a very, very different thing, though. I think the in front, it's a very. This is very American.
Yeah.
This, I think, is very British.
It's very Europe.
Yeah, I think it is.
The Americans, though, I find are all. No offense, it's some really good reviews.
Very careful, this is recorded.
Yeah, no, I won't insult anyone. No, I just find a lot of them are kind of generic.
It's because their exposure is optimal and PR. That's what they know, so that's what they do. That's what I did when I started, and I think that's why. But that's fine. It's like comedy. Everything is that's their style, and it just so happens that there's so many of them. That's all they need.
But there's a big diversity with the British.
Oh,
You've got
definitely.
you
I
and
mean, look at just us five.
Fear
It's
and-
actually quite a mix of just us now.
Yeah.
Some really shit village people.
On that note,
have we got any more questions?
I was going to say that lad at the back.
Nope, at the back.
Sorry, mate. Sorry.
No, don't worry. Earlier you were talking about this bit's good, this bit's alright, and I find myself having that problem because I can't deal with this bit's alright. I mean,
do you mean like your own clips or like feedback?
Clips, my own clips.
Yes, you don't finish it.
I just can't sort of bring myself to finish this project that I've been trying to do for years now, because I keep trying to get it perfect.
Yeah,
You can't, no.
that's the thing. You can't be a perfectionist because at the end of the day, I mean, yes, you're only. At the end of the day, what you've got to be happy with is that. Well, I mean, yeah, you've got to be happy with what you've made, but you've got to realise that everyone who watches it will be like that threshold of them being happy with it will be a lot lower than you.
That's true.
And whatever you put out, they'll be like, oh, that's great. You could have made it better. You could have thought to yourself that could have been so much better. But they'll still like it, and they won't know that you think it could have been better. They won't see that there's a hole here or there that could have been filled with something amazing. They'll just take it for what it is and really like it. So you've just got to sort of have a bit of faith in your own skill and just roll with it.
It's probably best as well to bring out the best of what you can do as a video maker as well.
Oh, definitely. But the problem is, you can be perfectionist, but it's hard. I've like obsessed. I've like obsessed over edits and be like that's one frame out and it's just tiny out, and I spend so my video's like 3 minutes long. I'm editing for like 2 hours, just like cut it down, get it right, because I like my edits to be sharp as hell. And I've deleted whole videos. I've record a video. I'm like, this is shit. Delete. But that's me. I'm a complete OCD perfectionist. It must be spot on. My trailer, I first uploaded it last week. There was 1 frame out, and I was like, take it down, do it again, put it back up, because I just can't accept that. But that's me. I'm not saying you have to do that. But I think it was a good point, which is sometimes you will critique your video as really harsh, but everyone else will be like, that's amazing.
See, I get that on my intros for my videos. I like to tailor my intros for what I'm talking about, rather than having a generic intro for each video.
Thanks.
Sorry. But the actual video itself, I'll just sit there and talk and yammer at the camera. I'm not really bothered about edits unless something drastic happens, like drop the camera. But then the intro itself, I'm like, need that particular piece of music, or I need that photo. I've got to tweak it just.
Yeah, you want to get timing spot on, man.
Yeah, and then afterwards, just enjoy shit. Brilliant.
Were you stretching your finger?
I was a little bit, yeah. I was just going to say, coming back to this thing that you say you can't quite get it right. I mean, while it is important to hold yourself to a high standard, because that's important, but something that I always come back to is a thing somebody said to me. It's a bit wanky, but he who makes no mistakes makes nothing. So if you do something and you're not completely happy with it, then that's all right, because at least then you've done that. You can come back to it and look at it, and then move on to the next thing and get bigger and better and just keep moving on.
Wise words bring you. Yeah, I was going to do a similar thing. You're your own worst critic. What's good enough for you is going to be good enough for at least somebody.
Cheers, Swindle.
We've got that on camera now.
Yeah. Same day. John.
What's been your best, worst comment you've received?
As in like a bad comment as if you're stoter?
Yeah, you find funny. When I was watching one of Ben's videos, you had a hangnail.
Yeah.
And one of them,
Oh, questions in my head, I'm like,
I thought it was funny as hell. Like, cut your fucking hangnail.
Sorry.
Thumbs down.
Again, like I'm lucky in that I'm not big enough on YouTube to get that many bad comments. I do, literally, I get a small pool of people who on videos, and that's it, man.
By the end of this, you will be.
Yeah, well, hopefully. But my favorite thing is, because there's a running joke that I have a wee bit of an ego, and I have a few comments that I see the people going like, you think you know, oh, you think you're just a bitch. I'm like, yes, I do, thank you, bye. They just like fuel it. I mean, go back to haters thing. If anything, bad comments just fuel me. Make me want to do it more. Make me want to just be so in your face. Call out, you know. It's just, I can't describe it any more than that. Literally, there's like almost like the likes and dislike thing, the ratings. It's just more fuel for the fire, man.
Yeah. You get that on the Facebook page though, and I think we've got everyone's experiences, the negative side to it, and it's just the way it rolls up and then cools down. It's like.
And then Brad jumps in and makes a random comment.
Also,
I like potatoes. What about yourself, Simon? Could you do rants and that kind of stuff? And okay, so Simon had a video where he bought Quantron. And he posted his massive rants.
Yeah.
And I remember seeing comments on a forum, my voice breaking, of people who.
No, I haven't seen this. This is news.
Oh, right, okay, so I remember I was on TFW because I'm a pure freak, and I was in the third party forum and went, oh, I love Quantron. And someone's like, check out this video, this guy here goes nuts, it's hilarious. But I was like, who is this guy? Why do I know about him? People were like so shocked that it's like, this guy can be so like on fire and don't know who they are. But it was more the fact that people were like, they thought it was hilarious. They thought it was absolutely hilarious that you were getting so upset with this toy. But I'm like, if you know Simon, you know why. But again, that's the thing, like, they're kind of not having a laugh at you, but they're like, oh, it's a bit ridiculous. And I'm like, no, it's legit. It's completely legit.
Yeah, I mean, I get a lot of comments because my most recent video, the Jurassic World video.
Yes,
and
that was actually very funny. By
it's supposed to be. It's those kind of rants. They're genuine. I am angry, but at the same time, I am
passionate.
I am passionate, and I'm playing a part. I'm boosting it up. I kind of liken it maybe to a WWE wrestling action
You're
or
kind of
something
promo.
like that. Yeah, it's kind of like a promo. It's an act. Whilst I am passionate about it, I'm not, frothing at the mouth and a straight jacket.
This movie is horrible.
So whilst it does get me worked up, and whilst it does give me a sore throat, a lot of it is playing up for the camera. And the Make Toys Quantron,
which is one of the best toys of all time.
Which I will admit, I think a lot of that was my own pig-headedness at dropping 300 frigging quid and not learning it. I think it was you that pointed it out. At this stage, you should know how big Make Toys stuff is.
You should have expected this.
I think a lot of that one, when it came to that Quantron toy, wasn't so much toy. It was the fact that I dropped 300 quid on a toy and hadn't looked at how big it was.
Do you know what it is? I think you just bought some Federal Rex or Warbotron limbs in time, and you're like, are you shitting me? And
Yeah.
you're together, like, are you actually shitting me? Like,
yes, I did. Yes, I had, because I got the Feral Rex stuff and the Warbotron stuff at the same time.
any other questions, or we can go more segments? Sammy?
What have been your proudest moments since you got started in the whole video making thing?
These are actual questions.
Yeah.
Ben? What's your respect to you?
I've got to say, I'm not really sure, because I've always kind of rated my stuff by maybe it's very much what I think about it myself. But it's again, like, it's hard to tell. Sometimes it's like, I'll just make this because I just wanted to make this just so I've made it for myself, and I don't really care what anyone else thinks of it. But then there are times where it's like, you'll do that and everyone will like it. It's like, oh great, I've actually made something that everyone else likes. That's really good. I'm not really sure what my proudest moment is, to be honest. I mean, it could be to do with the collaboration that I did, because just putting that together, the kind of level of that, the fact that it was the biggest one. I don't know if anyone's done a bigger one since. It was like 23 people in it.
Half an hour long.
And yeah, it was like, okay, this is a big thing. I'm actually doing something which is entirely unique. And I guess that is my proudest moment. Just the fact that many people were like, yeah, all right. I mean, at the time I was like, really, even smaller than I am now, and it's like getting, I don't know, I don't really average that many views now anyway, but like 50 views would be like a good day, and to think that that many people were like had that much faith in me that they'd want to submit their material to a channel as small as mine, for me to then regurgitate it out was that was great.
I don't really have one big proud moment. Like I've got one random video that's got like 70,000 views, and it's this stupid video. I don't know how it got 10 views, but my favourite thing actually is editing. I love editing. I love having an idea, shooting it all, bringing it all together, doing this, cutting out bits of cardboard to make clouds and have a little game happen. And when I get a video, see when I get a really hard edit sorted, that makes me quite proud. It's kind of like, yeah, I polished this now. It's perfect. Like for me, it's not the views, the comments, but it's the finished product. If I can do a video and watch it back and think, yeah, this has panned out exactly as I thought it would, and it's slick, I get a wee kind of like, yeah, cool. I upload it, but I just watch myself a lot. That's where my views come from. But no, just every video when I've kind of like, even my trailer, it was fun to actually think, right, I'll clip it all together, I'll put it all down, it's real seamless, and it's just a wee polish.
Wee polish?
Wee polish. Sick man. I think for me, like, the proudest YouTube moment I've had, I think was a question, like, was uploading the first part of Broken Mirror to YouTube, and the whole thing was about 20 minutes long, but I poured, like, 2 years of my life had gone into this project. I'd failed my AS levels because of this, probably. But like, uploading that, waiting for it to get published, but just like, sort of dreading what the comments might be like, this is terrible, and then, oh no, I've wasted 2 years of my life on something that's just incredibly shit. And then, but then seeing like all the positive comments that came out of it was just such a huge relief and made me feel so proud of what I had created. Yeah, that was heartfelt. Mr. Ben.
When you bought your chain bases.
Yeah. I haven't really had any super proud moments on YouTube. Like you say, when you've done a really good edit, because it is time consuming, and you put all the hard work in, and then you get, I don't know, a good video like 20, 30,000.
Oh yeah, totes, yeah,
definitely. Yeah, like every other video. And then you walk around Toys R Us filming it, and you get 500,000. Yeah, thanks. Yeah. My most successful video on my channel is me walking around Toys R Us.
Yeah.
Just talking. It's like, great, thanks, all that effort and time I put in.
Really? YouTube.
That and me doing chin-ups.
No, I know that one. I've done times where you've reshot an entire video because it's just gone completely wrong, and it's like all the work you put in, and then doing something like walking around Toys R Us gets more views. But my proudest moments, and this is going to be a bit of a converse one, it has to be my masterpiece Megatron.
Yeah.
And you know what? There's lots of moments that
That's why you're famous on YouTube.
I think it probably
that
is
was the first video I ever watched of yours.
It's that video, and it's that video that so many people keep coming back to.
Well, for those that don't know, like, tell them what happens.
Oh yeah, to those who don't know, everyone knows Masterpiece Megatron, that god-awful thing that now every third party and their dog is remaking.
Yeah.
Well, I have the unique pleasure of, in the middle of transforming it, in the middle of losing my absolute temper with this toy, of literally ripping it in half. There's the pin that joins the waist to the torso, and I just ripped it out. And of course, I put this on video, and I'm standing there with Masterpiece Megatron like this, and I think I go something like, ta-da! And it's in 2 halves. And you can see the collective YouTube viewers going. People have referenced that one on me for years. And even though it is the one toy that I have no redeeming quality for, I don't care what anyone says, it's horrible, awful, rust-feated shite. I hate it. But it is on the almost ironic side that is my proudest moment, is because it is out of all 250 something videos I have, that is the one that everyone keeps coming back to.
Plus, as well, is that video is also on the most watched of the videos that you've made as well. So.
No, it's one of the highest, but I actually think there are ones that are on there that are higher viewed. I think that one's got about, is it 60,000? I can't remember. I haven't looked at it in ages now, but I think I have ones that are higher viewed.
Is that the disappearance of Fort Max?
That one's definitely got a high view.
Yeah.
That one's definitely got a high view. I nearly was actually. I remember reading a comment on that video. He goes, "Are you crying?" And I was like, someone stole my Fort Max, and there was actually a genuine moment of choking coming up there because I thought, well, you know, I'd paid 250 quid for an almost complete Fort Max and a Predator King on eBay. So I was currently feeling like the jammiest git in the sodden world. This is when Fort Max on eBay, the Encore, hadn't come out, and he was going for about £1,000. So to pick one up for 250 quid, and someone stole it out of the post truck. Someone stole the post truck with the parcel in the back. And yeah, and I made a video going, someone stole my Fort Max. It was like, ooh, there was actually a genuine choking moment there. But yeah, my proudest moment was definitely Masterpiece Megatron.
We'll take one more question if anyone has one.
Is the camera okay?
It's nearly dead.
That's
Hence one more question.
Oh, great.
Guess why I started recording.
Oh, well played!
But I don't know how long I'll be here or whatnot or how long.
Stay really still.
You're looking at guys who you're sat here with 5 guys who love talking to an audience.
Yeah.
And unlike how we usually do it, this time we actually have an audience. It's going till 5 o'clock.
These are all still left over here from Fuse Panel.
Someone was just waiting for Simon Furman there.
Yeah. If it's the last question, be a very good one, not a suggestion.
Oh, it is a good one. What is your least proud moment?
Oh. Ooh.
This.
I don't know. I sometimes try to say kind of mean things on channels. I call shit out sometimes, and it's not like I'm not proud of them, but I understand that they're not ones that I should be bigging up. Like the times that I say I've got a better opinion than you because I've got a degree in design engineering. And it's not nice to say that, but I say that because I fucking believe that. But I'm aware it's not nice. I don't kind of like, oh yeah, I'm no better than you. So you know, I like saying it on channels, but I'm aware it's not a nice thing to say at all.
Mine's walking around Toys R Us, probably.
So you fill the clothes.
I went the guy in the lobby like a couple of nights ago. Probably got more hits now.
Oh, I don't know about a least proud moment. Maybe I think it was when I'd just started my first year in uni. And,
this is the best video on all of Ben's
This
channel.
isn't that video. No,
Oh,
I was
well,
moving to halls, and I was just depressed because it was just like so lonely. Like this time living out by myself for myself. The first time I was like, how do I even live? I don't know anyone here. I'm literally alone. And as one video I did one night, it was just like, I actually just went, could someone send me some Transformers, please? And I was like, I watched back and I'm like, oh, for God's sake, what on earth are you thinking? It's like, it's disgusting. And but someone did send me some, and it was just the best gesture. And I got a box from America full of beaten up G1 guys, and I was like, oh, okay, cheers. But yeah, that's just terrible.
The video that I'm least proud of. I can be a very, well, I say I can be. I am a very opinionated person.
We hadn't noticed.
Yeah, I tend to try and keep it on the QT. Like, there was one video I did, and looking back on it now, it was a bit of a pricky thing to actually do. This is going back a good few years. I got a message from somebody who's very reminiscent of Scott Summers Prime. Yeah. He's like the American version of him.
He comes to this can of worms.
And we're not going into him. No. Or are we? Can we?
No.
Simon Furman wants to come in.
Oh, right, sorry, yes. So he sent me a message, and he had an obsession with Cybertron Thunderclash. And I've noticed a pattern on all of my videos. He's going, please review Cybertron Thunderclash, please review Cybertron Thunderclash, or whatever the female boat was in Cybertron.
Thunderblast.
Was it Thunderblast?
Thunderblast or
something like that.
Yeah, Thunderblast.
But he eventually, after him sending me loads of messages on YouTube, he PM'd me, he private messaged me and said, can you be on? And I said no, because I don't have the toy and I don't like the character. To which he promptly responded with a very snitty, snotty, very badly misspelled message back about how awful I was and how much he hates me, and I went, well, right, okay, well, fuck you, so, and I put all that into a YouTube video. And I actually did put that story out on YouTube, complete with his spelling errors using Windows Movie Maker. I think it was one of my first actually attempt to put any kind of subtitles or anything in a video. And I have to say, I think, looking back on it now, even though that video, I still haven't actually taken it down, and the guy as a reviewer is long since gone, I think that's one of my least favourite moments. It was a bit of a me thing to do, but at the same time, it was a bit of a pricky thing to do.
I think it's the idea of like, even if for your own channel, it's quite you.
Yeah.
You still have a presentation aspect. You still put yourself out there. It's like, how would you react in the real world almost?
Yeah.
There's a certain politeness I would like to see in videos.
Yeah.
You don't want to be a prick, just be a prick.
Mm.
Do you have some sort of finale?
I don't have anything in terms of like least proud moments. I
Have you
guess.
that edit in one video?
Yeah, other than that one time where I was a second off the jump cut.
Amateur!
Nah, I mean probably the Graveyard Rendezvous stop motion again. Like I don't know why it's got so many views. Probably because it's one of the few reenactments of that scene.
I think there was like a trend, wasn't there? Like a phase of YouTube where people just did reenactments from the movies.
Yeah, yeah, pretty. There was that
Around Toys R Us.
I kind of got sucked up into that, but that was just when I was like starting out developing. Maybe in terms of like an actual thing I'm not really proud of, probably because I kind of got involved in that Dionysus guy as well a little bit. Just like giving him any of my time or focus. Yeah. Because he sent me a message after I got involved in the whole video thing, and that came up, and just like, oh well, I blocked him eventually, but I still like talk to him, and like he got like a comment, like a stupid comment on one of my old reviews, sent me a message. It's just dumb, not really worth my time. So probably that. Other than that, I don't really have much.
No, it's
that I'm
feed the
not
trolls.
Don't feed the
You
trolls.
fed the trolls.
Come at me,
scrub lord, I'm rich. I will always maintain about Dancer too. If he'd have done it the right way, it would have been brilliant. And I would have been, because I'm not afraid to laugh at myself, as any of my friends know. So I would have been quite happy to do, let him carry on with it. It was just the way he went with it.
Actually, I do have a least proud moment that's still happening.
You're one of those clone accounts, aren't you?
I am Dionysus02. I just put on a wig. I think he does as well. Actually, I do actually go back and watch some of his old videos and laugh at him.
Yeah.
It's just amusing how dumb it is, but I get easy kicks out of it.
Has anybody learned anything here today?
Yes.
Don't feed the trolls.
And walk around Toys R Us.
Well, don't do it, you'll get a million views. Well, as anyone who is thinking about doing more on YouTube feels like, yeah, I'm going to go home, I'm going to get my camera out, and I'm going to review a toy.
That being said, this room can be used for videos,
Yeah.
can't it?
Well, yeah, it's, I think, I don't know what time until, 5 or something?
I think it's until about
But
5.
yeah, this
so
is
if
the
anybody wants
broadcast,
to video anything in here, you
so
can.
the broadcast room. This is the broadcast room. If you wanted to do, even just get yourself on camera. See, the hardest part is just get yourself on camera. Just open a camera up and talk into a lens. Do it. Once you crack that, you can do anything you want. So this will be available and probably empty when it's not getting used for the end of the day. If you want to just get rolling.
I think the main thing you need to do it, no matter what style you're reviewing, because we all do different styles of videos, I think you just need passion.
The camera helps as well.
Yeah. Well, no, you've got enough passion.
Yeah.
The thing is, all you have to do is bowl leave.
Nothing is impossible.
Do it.
Here we go again. But yeah, a camera and passion, a room to do it in and a place to do it in also helps. But you just something you want to do.
If you've got enough passion, somebody else will film you.
You can get more money than we earn after that.
I mean, the best thing to do is not do it for review, not do it for views
Yeah.
or subscribers. Just do it because you want to.
Like
if you get, well, yeah. But if
Want a
you-
free t-shirt?
If you get one, if I get one view, I go, wow, somebody's actually taking the time to watch my video.
Yeah.
If I get 100 views, I go, holy shit, 100 people are actually watching my videos. So it's the same reaction I've got. It's like, yeah, cool. I'm still going to make a video out of it.
Also, as well as it's your opinion, so make it matter.
Oh yeah, it's your opinion, make it matter, yeah, totally. But at the same time, it's do it because you want to do it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy it, yeah. Because as soon as you lose the passion, that's it.
It's why I vanished for about 2 years.
Yeah.
And why I'm not back at the same further, because I just simply don't have the same energy or the same sheer amount of toys to do a video a week anymore that I used to have for it. And once you start losing that passion, once you're doing it because you feel that you have to do it for your subscribers, then you're going to find that your work and the quality of your work, you might put the same amount of effort into it, but the energy in your work is going to vanish and peter out, and it's going to be a bad soap opera. You need to love what you do.
We need to wrap this up.
Okay, so that's the end of the panel. Thank you all very much for coming. Thank you to my wonderful co-hosts for co-hosting.
And if you have found it useful, please like and subscribe.
Link down below. So yeah, get out.
Thank you, honestly, thank you everybody for coming.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thanks so much.